Hello and welcome to the tastebetter.com video newsletter. This is something new we're trying for January 4th, 2010. My name is Jason, and this is what we're going to be doing. This is my, I think my second time ever using PowerPoint, so please bear with me. But I want to give this a try and try reaching people in different ways, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. This week, we are going to be talking about like I just said, how we're trying to get into as many places as possible. I want to get into how to answer any question about veganism, a little bit about what to do if this whole what if plants feel pain thing, and talk a little bit about what's ahead this week. So here we go. And I hope that everyone had a great end of the year. 2009 just finished up. Hope you snuck a few wins in. And I hope you're all rested up for an amazing 2010. I am. I'm excited about a lot of stuff we're doing, but one of the big ones right now is this whole approach they're trying to get into as many places as we can. I love email. I know that it's not for everyone though, so we're trying to do this stuff with the videos. We're going to put things up on YouTube. There's an audio MP3 of this, so you can listen to it that way if you prefer. People learn in different styles, and people like to receive content in different ways, and that's one of the big things that the internet is supposed to allow things to happen. So we're going to give it a shot and see what the response is. Now, with this new format, it's going to add a lot to the production time of the newsletter. It used to take me about an hour to put one together, but all this video stuff, even without the learning curve and trying to figure out the workflow, it's adding a little bit of stuff to my day that I could be spending doing other things, but I really think it's worth it. But I really would appreciate some feedback on that. So please, if you like this, let me know, and we'll go from there, because I think this is something exciting, and I think we're going to give it a try. But more importantly, if you really like what I'm doing, please tell your friends, and more importantly, ask them to subscribe. I really prefer if people still sign up through tastebetter.com/newsletter. I'm not going to spam your butts or anything. I'm just going to get in touch once a week or so to let you know what's going on, just to drive people to this stuff. But if you want to just subscribe on YouTube or join the Facebook page or whatnot, that works too. But please pass it along. One of my big goals for 2010 is to boost the readership of this thing to a whole new level, because I really want to reach as many people as I can, and this is the year to do it. So thanks for that in advance, and let me know what you think. But now let's get back to the actual stuff we're going to talk about. And that is, first and foremost, how to answer any question about veganism. Some of you who've known me for a while know that I don't spend a whole lot of time reading veganism books or videos or things like that and learning more about veganism itself. I spend most of my time, when I'm not working on projects and things, getting into sales and marketing kind of topics, because I think that's what a lot of activism comes down to. And today's idea comes from a sales training call that I was on a little while ago, just sitting on a conference call listening to somebody go on and on and on. But in there was a big aha that came, and it comes to answering questions. And of course, I convert everything in my head to activism and outreach. It's just the way that I'm wired up these days. So it came to a big aha when it comes to answering questions about veganism, and this is where you're going to see that I don't know a lot of PowerPoint, because I clearly should have made this another slide. I apologize for that, but the key is to make your answers as simple as possible. I'll say it again because it's not on a slide. Make your answers as simple as possible. I don't know about you guys, but I've got this tendency to want to know everything and share everything, because I like to share, and I like to spread information and all that. And especially if it's something I'm really passionate about, like veganism. But what I've learned is that if I give a detailed answer, like somebody asks about omega-3 fatty acids for some reason, and I give a really detailed answer, there's two things I'm saying. One is the actual answer, which I hope helps, and I really want to do that. But that's more about me. When it comes down to it, that's me validating my knowledge and saying, look at all this stuff I know. Because the other thing that it's saying is that being vegan means you have to learn a million things before you can even start. And that's totally crap, but that's the perception that's going to come across. You might have removed one obstacle to someone's transition to a plant-based diet by answering their question, but you've created a new, possibly even bigger one, and that's this perception that, well, vegans know a lot about nutrition. I can't possibly learn as much as this guy knows, so I could never be vegan. So instead, when you get a question about health or animal welfare, the environmental impact of meat or whatever, I want you to try resisting the urge to get into the little details, unless, if it's actually appropriate, like you're doing a big debate or something. But just give a quick summary and then a pointer to more information, when you're ready to learn more about it. Here's what you can do. And I think that that's going to just focus on the next step and just clear that immediate obstacle without adding any additional ones. So my response these days to most health questions, usually, honestly, it works out to, I used to worry about that, but it turns out to be not such a big deal. An easy way to ensure you've got blah, blah, blah covered is to eat something or other with your meal. And if you want to get more into it, Becoming Vegan has a good section on that. But like I said, most vegans I know don't worry about it too much. And, it's an honest, simple answer. And my only problem with it is that I end up sounding like a bit of a broken record. Like, is there anything leafy greens and a copy of Becoming Vegan can't do? But just keep it really simple. And hopefully that will get the point across that, being vegan isn't that hard, because I think there's this perception that you have to have a degree in nutrition to attempt a plant-based diet, which, if you've been doing it for any length of time, that's not the case. It's always good to learn more, but to get started, it's as simple as just changing what's on your plate. So give simple answers is the lesson of the day, and let me know what you think about that. Next up, I want to just briefly talk about this whole what if plants feel pain thing, because I had a question from Sandy last week, and she's a newsletter subscriber. She sent me a mail. We got into a little discussion. Just want to share a little bit. I guess this is going around. I think there was a New York Times thing or something about, it's the old broccoli screams when you cut it thing or something. I honestly didn't read the op-ed because I didn't want to. But it's basically this idea that an omnivore comes up and say, well, you think you're doing all great, but, plants scream when you cut them or something like that. So I just want to get briefly into the comeback, because people do come up with this from time to time. And it's basically, how many plants do you figure the cow you just ate had to eat to get big enough to slaughter? There's some basic math involved that the number of calories consumed by somebody by an animal to get big enough to provide calories to omnivores, there's an imbalance there. And in the end, by eating meat, you're actually eating more plants, or you're causing more plants to get harvested more accurately. So there's a basic counter argument there. And behind that, I think, getting down to the root of it, there's an unvoiced argument that comes out with this thing comes up, and that's, you're not perfect, so I'm going to keep doing whatever it is that I'm doing, even though it's worse than what you're just attempting to do line, because people go through incredible lengths to rationalize their diets. It doesn't come up a lot, but, when it does, it's, there's basically come up with an extreme counterexample. If you jaywalk, do I get to kill babies? Because that's really what's kind of coming out, and it's just absurd. And maybe there is something going on with this whole plants feeling pain thing. Maybe there isn't. I really haven't gone through the research. It's something I might look into or might not. But right now I'm focusing on reducing overall suffering as much as I can. And by eating lower on the food chain, having a healthful diet full of plants, that at the end of the day is going to be better, even if the plants are screaming, than if I were to eat meat. So that is the quickie response to that. Quickly now, I just want to go into what's happening next week on the Better Network, because tastebetter.com is not the only site we run. I got a post up there today about multivitamins, like you guys want to take a look at, because I kind of changed my thinking on that. And I think I'm going to get another post or two this week. I really want to focus. I finally clued in that I've got the subtitle about "and other tips for great green living," so I want to focus more on those kinds of tips. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions or whatnot, let me know. We've also got our vegan parenting site Spawn Better, and that's going to continue this week. We're going to be talking about dealing with non-veg family members. So even if you don't have kids, you might pick up a few tricks on there. Check that out at spawnbetter.com. And I'm going to be doing some behind-the-scenes stuff, primarily on barnivore.com, our vegan booze site. Hopefully we'll have another Porncast, which is our podcast on vegan porn. The name might be not safe for work, but the content is pretty much just silly. We'll probably do something else on there. And lastly, we really want to do some more cooking videos on our Easy Vegan cooking show, but our kitchen still isn't ready, so working on that. So that is the first week's newsletter. I want to thank you guys so much. I get more out of this than you do, I guarantee it. The mails I get from people and everything are so fulfilling, and I get so many ideas, and it just pushes me so much further. So thanks so much for getting in touch and keeping in touch. That's just great. If you want to connect, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do that. Through tastebetter.com, of course. You can subscribe to the newsletter, or you can hook up on Twitter, twitter.com/tastebetter, twitter.com/Jason Doucette's my personal one. Sometimes it's about veg, most of the time it's not, but you might like it, you might not. You can get on the Facebook if you want to see the posts there, and of course we're on YouTube as well. So that is the newsletter for this week. Thanks again. Really appreciate you guys taking the time, and please get in touch and let me know how you're doing. We'll talk to you next week.